Liddell grew up in Santa Barbara, California, the second of 4 kids raised by a single mom.
She made a lot of sacrifices. She worked very hard to raise us. She worked 2 jobs, and she moved in with her parents, which isn't always the easiest thing for a parent to do.
It was pretty packed when we first got here. We had 3 boys in one room, my mom and my sister in another room, my grandparents in one room, and my great-grandma back in the back part of the house. It was all family, and I think it just makes you closer.
We had a very large backyard. All the neighborhood kids come over and play. We had our boxing ring in the back that my grandfather built because my brothers and I would brawl all the time.
He got us some boxing gloves, and we want to fight. He said, okay, let's go outside. Go ahead and fight.
He'd sit on the pins, and he'd ring the bell every time we were punching each other too much or too hard.
My grandpa supported me in anything I did. He loved watching me fight. He always used to tell me I was the best fighter in the world.
Following his grandfather's lead, Chuck began studying karate.
I started when I was 12. They used to tell me to go home. I'd stay as long as I could. I'd come back for a couple different classes. I'd sit in the gym and sit there with my sparring gear next to me and watch people walk in. Hey, you want to spar? Warm back up and spar again. So I love being in the gym.
But it was outside the gym that Chuck was displaying the natural knockout power that would make him famous.
We were on Del Playa in Isla Vista. When I was younger, I did a lot of hanging out here. We came out here and partied. This is where a lot of my street fights and stuff took place out here. We fought a lot out here. I never started a fight, but I never really tried to run from them too much either. I'd make it real hard for guys to back out if they started saying something. Honestly, I couldn't tell you how many fights I got in out here. I've dropped quite a few people, yeah.
Chuck wrestled in high school and college. When he graduated, he was introduced to a former boxer named John Hackleman, who began training Chuck in mixed martial arts.
I started throwing him in because he wanted to fight. I started fighting kickboxing matches, boxing matches. I even threw him in a couple of point karate matches.
In May of 1998, Chuck was offered a fight in Mobile, Alabama. The organization, the UFC, had been around for 5 years. For Chuck Liddell, it was his professional debut.
That was a huge deal for Chuck. We actually saw the first 2 UFCs on pay-per-view, and the first thing that everybody was saying is that he would do awesome.
It's a big show. It's big exciting for me, all the TV and all that stuff. Everyone wanted to fight UFC. That was elite. To fight UFC, you got to be the best.
Compared to Chuck, Noe Hernandez was an MMA veteran. He'd fought 5 times, winning 3. But this was his break as well.
In the UFC, they called me up. They said, would you like to fight? I said, yes, let's do it. Didn't matter who I fought. I just went in there. And it was Chuck Liddell. He was ripped back then. He had a mohawk. Looks the same as now, but he was just chiseled. I didn't know much about Chuck, just that he was tough. I knew as a boxer, I knew he had I think he had 1 or 2 10-second knockouts or something.
Here we go. Noe Hernandez, Chuck Liddell.
It was 12 minutes straight, no overtime.
Oh, he tried to go high.
That big punch by Noe Hernandez down.
Both guys trying with the strikes.
He hit hard. He had a good snap on his punches. He got him with the overhand right.
Oh, that's a big right hand, and he nodded saying, you got me with that one.
Yeah, it hurt. Then he backed off, and he went to shoot at me and took me down.
And back down to the ground it goes.
He got back up and wanted to fight some more, and he took me down again.
With no breaks, the 12-minute round felt like an eternity to the 2 novice fighters.
It seems that Hernandez is tired. He had to put the hands on the hips. That's a clear indication of fatigue.
I should hit with that head kick. It was there. But it took me a while to adjust from kickboxing to MMA. Last minute, he was on top of me. I said, all right, I'll take the beating.
And the horn has sounded.
The winner by unanimous decision, Chuck Liddell.
My legs were sore for 2 weeks. The bones, not the muscle, but the bones. He took a lot of leg kicks.
Noe Hernandez would fight only 4 more times, winning twice. Today, he lives in Lansing, Michigan, and works out at the same gym as Rashad Evans.
What do you think of Chuck?
I think Chuck gonna get his ass whooped. That's what I think Chuck.
I agree. I think you take him down, beat him down.
But the Chuck Liddell that Noe Hernandez fought in 1998 bears little resemblance to the one squaring off with Rashad Evans. That night, 10 years back in Mobile, was a revelation for the former street fighter.
I really kind of felt like I found something I really fit me. You know, the combination between the wrestling and the kickboxing, and I was really excited about it.
He was determined. He was focused. He had it in him, in his eye. You can see it.
Over the next 10 years, Chuck would become a superstar, a world champion, and the face of the UFC.
Chuck continues to beat up. Combination uppercut. Liddell is the light heavyweight champion. What does someone have to do to stop this guy?
At UFC 88, he looks to add to his legacy and continue his quest to reclaim the light heavyweight title.
Right now, I'm concentrating on beating Rashad. So when I beat Rashad, we'll worry about what happens after. I'm planning on getting a title shot after this one, so I think I deserve it if I beat Rashad.
Rashad!
Up next, Rashad Evans channels his inner Bruce Lee.
Man, I'm gonna kick this dude's head off.